Assalamualaikum and good day to our respected lecturers and our fellow friends who watching this. We are from Group 7 and today we are convening to discuss a topic that sits at the very heart of our survival in the modern economy. Is saving enough or everyone should learn how to invest? My name is Muhammad Irfan. Today, I will be moderating this discussion. We are joined by a very balanced panel today. We have Azri as a bank manager. We have Mr. RQVERNON as an investment advisor. And lastly, we have Mr. HAIRIE as a young professional who represent the millions of graduates currently entering a very volatile job market. To set the stage, let's look at our current economic climate. With the cost of living rising and the ringgit's fluctuating value, the old advice, just save money, is being questioned. Azri, I want to start with you. Bank has always been the safe haven for the public. In your professional opinion, why should an individual prioritize a savings account over the flashy promises of the stock market?
Thank you, Irfan, for the question. It is pleasure to be here. To answer your question, we have to look at the psychological concept of financial peace of mind. In banking, our primary focus is capital preservation. When a customer put 10,000 ringgit into a saving account, they are guaranteed that when they woke up tomorrow or even next year, the 10,000 ringgit is still there. We also emphasize liquidity. Life is unpredictable. You might face a medical emergency, a sudden job loss, or a car breakdown. In those moments, you need cash immediately. You cannot wait for the stock market to recover to pay your bill. I've seen too many people lost their life saving because they invested money they could afford to lose. My firm stance is that a 6-month emergency fund is mandatory prerequisite for any other financial activity. RQVERNON, I know that you RQVERNON, I know that this isn't a reckless I know that you disagree that isn't it reckless to encourage young people to risk their survival fund for sake of 5% or even 10%?
I appreciate the question, Azri. I agree that safety net is important, but I want to challenge you with the word safe. If you have 10,000 ringgit right now, and the interest rate is 1%, while the inflation is 4%, you actually are not saving money. You're losing 3% of your money. To me, saving is actually slow. It guarantees loss of wealth. To truly protect your future, you must learn to invest in a set that outpaces inflation. If we don't teach people to invest, we are essentially telling them to work harder for money that is worth than less over time. HAIRIE, you recently started working. Does the idea of saving losing value every day worry you? Or do you find the comfort of the bank more appealing?
Honestly, after hearing both of your opinion, as a youngster, I feel quite overwhelming. But on the other hand, as you make me feel secure. As a young professional, I don't have a lot of money, so the idea of losing it in a market crash is terrifying. On the other hand, RQVERNON, I see the price food and rent are going up every month. My salary isn't growing as fast as the price at the supermarket. My biggest issue is financial literacy. I feel like I'm standing in front of a giant wall. I want to grow my money,
but I don't know the difference between mutual fund and the ETF or a fixed deposit. I feel I feel that my many in my generation are paralyzed my choice. Irfan, I think we need to explore why the gap in knowledge exists before we decide which path is better.
Hairi, you hit on a crucial point. It's not just about the money. It's about the knowledge behind. Let's dive deeper into the inflation versus security debate. Vernon, you mentioned that saving is low loss. Can you explain it? The power of the compound interest to Hairi and the audience? How does it actually work over a 20-year of period?
Certainly, Irfan. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world. Let's say Hairi invests 2,000 ringgit a month studying at the age of 23. By the time he is 50, even with the modest 7% return, that money will have grown exponentially because he is earning interest on his interest. If he just save it in a box, he only have what he got. The money he saved doesn't change. The problem, Azri, is that bank doesn't encourage this growth. They use our deposit to invest and make 50% of it, but they only give us 1.5%. Isn't it true that the bank is the one getting rich of the saver?
That's a very provocative way to put it, Vernon. But you are ignoring the risk premium. The banks takes the risk. If the bank investment fail, the deposit is still protected by PIDM, the Perbadanan Insurance Deposit Malaysia. The deposit get their money back regardless. If Hairi follow your advice and put the 200 ringgit into volatile stock and that company goes bankrupt, who protects him? Nobody. So, for a young professional, the slow loss of inflation is much better than the instant loss of a bad investment. Also, Hairi, have you considered fixed deposit that offer a higher interest rate than the regular saving by maintaining that 100% security?
I have heard of fixed deposit, but does that mean that I can't touch my money for a year? What if I lose my job tomorrow? What can I do to survive? Azri want me to be more safe, but Vernon want me to be rich. But I just want to be able to pay my bill if something goes wrong. Vernon, you talk about RM2 200 a month, but what if I have a month where I have a car repair and can't invest? Does the compound interest magic stop? And Azri, if I pull all my money in the fixed deposit, am I not just locking myself into a low growth future?
Excellent question, Hairi. Let's hold there. I want to bring in a new angle about the modern digital trends, where we see everyone on social media talking about get rich quick, Sims and crypto. Does this new age of investing change the bank's perspective, Azri?
It makes us even more cautious, Irfan. We see so many young people failing for unregulated investment schemes. They see an influencer with luxury car and think they can do the same. But this isn't investing, it's gambling. At the bank, we see the aftermath. People coming in trying to report scam because they invested in a platform that disappeared overnight. This is why saving is enough for most people, because they haven't been trained to identify a scam from a legitimate investment. Revenant,
Yeah.
Don't you think that everyone should invest? Mantra is dangerous in a world full of scammers.
It's only dangerous if we don't teach regulation. I never advocate for in-regulate platform. I'm talking about Bursa Malaysia, the S&P 500, or unit trusts that are monitored by the Security Commission. The real danger is the risk of longevity. People are living longer now. If you just save, you will run out of money by the age of 70. Investing is the only way to ensure your money lasts as long as you do. HAIRIE, have you looked into robo-advisor? They are designed for beginner and use algorithm to diversify your money automatically.
I have seen the ads for those, but again, it comes back to the trust. How do I know the algorithm won't fail during the recession? We keep hearing the global recession might be coming. Azri, if a recession hits, is my saving account truly the only safe place?
During a recession, cash is king. When the market crash, people who have invested see their portfolio down by 30 or 40%. They panic. But the person with healthy saving account has the buying power to survive. They don't have to sell their asset at loss just to buy a grocery.
Let's challenge that. RQVERNON, isn't it a recession actually the best time to invest? The buy low, sell high philosophy. Can you explain to us?
Exactly, Irfan. A recession is like clearance sale for the wealthy. But you can only participate in that sale if you have the knowledge and the guts to stay in the market. This is why I argue that everyone must learn to invest. If you don't learn, you are always the victim of the economy. If you learn, you can benefit from its cycle.
So, RQVERNON, you are saying I should save money to invest when things go bad. That sounds like a mix both of your idea. But what about the debt? Most people my age have PTPT and loans or car loan. Should we be investing while we are in debt? Azri, what does bank say about that?
That's a brilliant point, Hairi. From a banking perspective, your effective return on investment must be higher than the interest of your debt. If you are paying, let's say, 4% on a loan, but only 2% earn on an investment, you are losing money. Pay off high interest debt first. This is another reason why saving and debt management are more important than investing for the average person.
Actually, I agree with Azri there. Debt is negative investment. However, don't use paying off debt as an excuse to never start. You can do both. Pay down the debt and start a small dollar cost averaging plan with just RM 550 ringgit amount just to build the habit.
We are moving to the final stage of our discussion. We have debated security, inflation, scams, and the last is the debts. It seems we are reaching a middle ground. Let's try to negotiate a Group 7 conclusion. Azri, you have been very firm on safety. HAIRIE, you have been cautious but curious. And also RQVERNON, you have been pushing for growth. Let's look at the financial pyramid. Can we agree on the structure?
I think I have seen this pattern. The foundation of the pyramid is the saving, as we talked about. Without that, the whole building collapses. But the upper level are the investment. Vernon talked about. Without those buildings, we never get any taller.
I am willing to concede that point. If and only if a person has their safety foundation of 6 months expense, I will support them moving into regulated low to medium risk investment. My concern was always the order of operation. You don't build the roof before the floor.
And I'm willing to concede that for a beginner like HAIRIE, an emergency fund provides the emotional security needed to stay invested during a market dip. If he has a bank account to fall back on, he won't panic sell his stock when the new turns bad.
We have reached our time limit. And I believe we have arrived at a very sophisticated conclusion, Group 7. Let's summarize our negotiated outcomes. Is saving is enough? Our answer is saving is enough for survival, but it is not enough for prosperity.
Exactly. Today, I have learned a lot of things from the investment and also for the bank officer. And I have learned that I need to be a saver first to earn the right amount of money before I becoming an investor. Financial literacy isn't about choosing a side. It's about knowing when to use which tool during the right time.
Well said, Hailey. For our viewers, remember liquidity first, second growth. Protect your today so you can invest tomorrow.
Yes, and when the market dips, don't let the fear of the red numbers stop you from beating the invisible tax of inflation. Start small, stay regulated, and stay consistent.
To conclude, Group 7's verdict is a hybrid strategy. We recommend a tiered financial journey. First, eliminate high interest debt. Second, build a 6-month emergency saving funds. Third, and only then, educate yourself and begin a diverse investment plan to secure long-term wealth. Before that, I want to ask Azri and also RQVERNON, what are some platform we can use for saving our account and also to invest our money before we close this discussion? Can we go with RQVERNON first?
Right, for me, I personally use some platform that are in Malaysia. Some are called TNG Wallet, Bursa, and also ASNB. It's a very perfect platform for me because I only have some. Yes,
I also hear that TNG wallet, you only need 10 ringgit. There's a small amount you can
Yes.
start invest. Is that right?
yeah, the platform that I'm talking about is very suitable for beginner like HAIRIE. That's the platform that I use from the beginning of my journey until now.
What about you, Azri?
So, as we all know, there's a lot of banks out there, and also there's a lot of platform or apps that we can use to save our money. But for me, there's a one bank, Maybank. I think Maybank is the best bank for you to save your money. Not only that bank have a very good security, but also they give a highest return rate for interest if you want to start your interest. So I think Maybank is a good choice. It's a good place for saving money.
And also I heard about the Maybank was have the best two-step verification apps in Malaysia. Is that true?
Yes, this is very true because Maybank is adapting to our modern technology. They have increased their security using a biometric scans. They are scanning your unique fingers only for you to access your account. That is why Maybank is a very good bank for you to start saving.
Wow, that's a good security for Maybank.
Yes.
What about you, Harry? Do you think you can start investment today?
After listening from both of their opinion, I think I, as a youngster, I should save my money in my bank, since I heard about the security system is very good. And I also think that I should invest some of my money inside some of investment platform that RQVERNON said, such as ASNB. I think this will help me to gain more money and to keep myself secure. And I feel like this platform helped me a lot as a youngster who just received my salary.
Thank you to our panel for this balanced and insightful discussion. Thank you to our lecturer and your time for attention. This concludes our group discussion. Thank you very much.